Alexia Umansky is in full wedding planning mode. This was confirmed on Tuesday, May 20, when Kyle Richards was asked to share a few details about her daughter's fast-approaching nuptials with Jake Singerman. Unfortunately, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills mom told Briefing on Bravo she couldn't provide too many teasers. And no, it wasn't because the event was top secret. It was because Alexia was still locking down her plans. "I can't tell you that now because we're still planning it," Kyle said at the 50th Annual Gracie Awards Gala. "Every day, we're organizing and planning and hiring, so nothing yet." Kyle Richards gushes over Alexia Umansky's beautiful engagement party. The update came more than 6 months after Jake proposed to Alexia at their SoCal home. Although the longtime couple celebrated the milestone with an intimate house party later that night, they had a bigger, more formal celebration on May 17 at Kyle's Encino estate. "We just had our daughter Alexia's engagement party the other night, Saturday night," Kyle told the outlet. "I think I'm still recovering from that, but it's exciting." Attendees included Kyle's castmate Dorit Kemsley as well as RHOBA alums Teddy Mellencamp and Lisa Rinna. "We didn't make it in our high heels till 12:30 a.m., but we did make it. We survived the night," Kyle joked. Erica, Jane, and Boz St. John, they couldn't make it. "But yes, we had a lot of the housewives there, past and present, and lots of family and friends. It was a really beautiful celebration." Has Kyle Richards given Alexia Umansky any marriage advice? Kyle was then asked if she had given any marriage advice to Alexia, who is set to walk down the aisle on September 6. "You know what? She's grown up with her mom and dad, seeing our marriage," Kyle said before referencing her marital split with Mauricio Umansky. "Obviously, we're going through what we're going through now, but Alexia always saw a positive image of what that is. And now I think she's seeing a positive image of what being separated can look like. I think we're doing the best we can, and I think our kids feel that." Kyle and Mauricio confirmed the separation nearly 2 years ago, but have yet to file for divorce. While there's a lot of uncertainty surrounding their future, the estranged couple has continued to put on a united front for their family. Get more details about Kyle and Mauricio's post-split dynamic and what went down during their pre-Mother's Day celebration at the Roosevelt Hotel. Something blue in Beverly Hills. Alexia Umansky never imagined that choosing napkin colors could be so stressful. It was a sunny Wednesday morning in late May, and her phone had already buzzed 15 times before she could finish her matcha latte. Her planner, Gia, had sent a frantic series of texts about table line-ins, floral arrangements, and a caterer who had suddenly decided to pivot to vegan-only weddings. She looked up from her phone at the dazzling morning view from the terrace of her West Hollywood apartment. She could see the top of the Beverly Hills Hotel peeking out between palms. If she squinted, she could almost imagine the tent going up in the backyard of her mom's Encino estate, white, elegant, filled with laughter and clinking glasses. But today, it all felt a little too much. "You okay?" Jake Singerman asked as he emerged from the kitchen, a spoon in his mouth and a slightly burnt smell trailing behind him. Alexia gave him a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Your attempt at French toast is making me question the whole marriage thing." He grinned and kissed the top of her head. "Cold feet already? Should I call my mom and cancel the Zingerman family toast?" "Not funny," she said, reaching for her laptop. "I have a call with Gia in 15, and Mom wants me to approve the guest list again. I swear it grows by 5 names every day." She probably invited everyone who ever walked through Bravo Studios. "Correction," Alexia said, arching a brow. "Everyone who's ever held a diamond in the opening credits." The legacy and the lens. Planning a wedding in the Umansky-Richards household was like directing a blockbuster film. There were stylists, publicists, photographers, and more than one producer who had hinted, not so subtly, about streaming rights. Alexia had grown up with cameras in the house, but now, standing on the precipice of this major life milestone, she wanted the day to feel hers. Intimate, beautiful, authentic. Her engagement party had been a glittering blur of laughter and flashing cameras. Kyle's Encino backyard had been transformed into a magical forest of fairy lights, peonies, and imported Italian chandeliers. Dorit had complemented the decor. Lisa Rinna had danced on the edge of the pool. Teddy Mellencamp and her husband had stayed until 1 a.m., helping clean up champagne flutes while recounting their own wedding mishaps. But that night had been Kyle's vision, a gift of a mother who wanted to shower her daughter with love and maybe reclaim a little sparkle in the process. Now, with September 6th looming, the wedding itself was Alexia's to mold. Mothers and daughters. Kyle Richards was still recovering from the engagement party when she met her daughter for brunch at the Ivy. "Did you see the photo Teddy posted?" Kyle asked, pulling out her phone. "You can see my hair extensions popping out." Alexia laughed. "You looked amazing. You always do." Kyle reached across the table and gave her daughter's hand a gentle squeeze. "I still can't believe my little girl is getting married. Mom, I'm 27. You'll always be my little girl." There was a brief pause, the clink of a coffee cup, and then Kyle said softly, "Have you and Jake picked your officiant yet?" "Still deciding," Alexia said. "We want someone who knows us, but isn't too, like Instagram quotey," Kyle chuckled. "That narrows it down to about 3 people in this town." They lapsed into silence for a moment before Kyle added, "You know, your dad and I, what we had, it was good, for a long time." Alexia nodded. "I know. I just want you to know that love can look different over time. It doesn't always end in anger." She was being careful, measured. Ever since the separation from Mauricio, Kyle had mastered the art of speaking from behind a veil. She didn't cry in public. She didn't raise her voice, but the softness in her words told a deeper story. "I've seen how you and Dad handled it," Alexia said. "Honestly, it's kind of taught me more than anything." Kyle smiled, her eyes glistening just slightly. "Then we did something right." 3 months to go. June passed in a blur of dress fittings, RSVP battles, and one catastrophic cake tasting where Jake accidentally insulted the baker by suggesting their vanilla bean tasted like high school cafeteria. Despite the chaos, there were magical moments too. One evening, Alexia and Jake walked barefoot on the beach near Malibu. Just the two of them, whispering their vows into the salty air as practice. Another night, they hosted a tiny dinner party at home with just siblings and a few close friends. No cameras, no glam, just lasagna and laughter. But the pressure mounted. People wanted answers. Who designed her gown? Would the wedding be televised? Was Lisa Vanderpump invited? And through it all, there was Kyle, present, persistent, and passionate. "I just think the runners should be ivory, not stark white," she said during one planning session. "White can feel too bridal in a way that." "Mom," Alexia interrupted gently. "I love you, but I need to do this part my way." Kyle blinked. "Of course, sorry, I know," Alexia said, hugging her. "You want it to be perfect, but perfect for me might not mean perfect for you." That was the turning point. From then on, Kyle shifted into a support role. She stopped suggesting photographers and started asking what Alexia needed. Instead of dropping by unannounced, she sent texts first. "Need help with the menu?" or "Thinking of you, want to grab lunch?" And Alexia, in turn, realized how much it meant to have her mom present, even just as a sounding board. They were rebuilding mother and daughter moment by moment. The dress in early August, Alexia flew to New York for her final dress fitting. The designer was an old friend of Kyle's, a legend in the fashion world who only took on a handful of bridal clients each year. The gown was breathtaking, ethereal layers of silk organza, delicate beadwork that shimmered like dew, and a train that floated like a cloud. When she stepped onto the fitting platform and looked at herself in the mirror, she felt something shift. It was happening. She was becoming a wife. The moment felt sacred. Her mom stood beside her, holding a glass of champagne, eyes wide and wet. "You look like an angel." Alexia smiled. "I feel like one." They toasted quietly, the clink of crystal echoing in the hushed studio. "I wore lace," Kyle said suddenly. "At my wedding. Long sleeves, big shoulder pads. It was the 90s. Alexia laughed. "Can I see pictures?" "Only if you promise not to post them." The calm before. As the days ticked down to September 6, Alexia found herself oddly serene. She had let go of the need for everything to be flawless. She had learned to delegate, to trust Gia, and to listen to her own instincts. One night, just a week before the wedding, she and Jake sat outside under a canopy of string lights. "You ready?" she asked. "I've been ready since the day I met you." "Good answer." "I mean it," he said, pulling her close. "You make chaos feel like home." Alexia leaned into him, her eyes drifting toward the stars. "Then I guess we're building a home out of tulle and table charts."